Since we are just within a week of Christmas, I thought that I would come on here and we will do a little bit of a study regarding one aspect that is well known, and that is the wise men. And I wanted to talk a little bit about who they were and how they knew to go over to try to find Jesus. I think that is a very critical thing, a very good topic for right now, especially for this season. But guys, if you're interested, go down to the link below, pick you up some Blackout coffee, and it's some great coffee. And I know that if any of you guys out there are coffee drinkers like me, trust me, you'll love it. But for now, what we're going to do is jump right into the video. Now, the wise men, even though traditionally in a lot of our stories and all that, we typically see them as three wise men. That's what we always see with a lot of the plays and things like that. But the reality is, we do not know the total number of wise men that actually showed up to visit Jesus. And what we do know is that the gifts that they brought them, the Bible names three gifts: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. From that, people have developed the idea that there were only three wise men, but that's not necessarily the case. But the question is, who were these people and how did they know to travel to meet Jesus, to try to find the Lord? And the reality is, because back years ago, centuries ago, they were told about him. And the person that told them was a man by the name of Daniel. If we turn over to the book of Daniel, and I've actually got it pulled up here, and we're going to look beginning in chapter 2 at a few verses that are very critical to this. So let me just go ahead and pop that up on screen. And you can see here Daniel 2 chapter 2 verses 48. Then the king made Daniel a great man and gave him many great gifts and made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon and chief of the governor over all the wise men of Babylon. That is a very key thing. Now, I would encourage you to go back and read the entire book of Daniel, and you're going to see exactly why King Nebuchadnezzar did that. And once Daniel was there again, the head of all of the wise men, he obviously would tell them things that he knew. He would pass to them a lot of the prophecies and things like that which the Lord had given him. And that is exactly how the Magi, the wise men, knew to look for the Lord. Now, these individuals, some of the things about them, as far as they're looking for the Lord's star. If you go back in history and you pick up a history book, these people in that era, that period of time in ancient Babylon, ancient Persia, Arabia, the way that they navigated was using the stars at night in the desert. They didn't have a compass the way that we do today and all that. So they learned to use the stars to navigate. And when Daniel gave the prophecy of of the Lord, as far as what he was going to do, the 70 weeks prophecy in general, the Magi knew. They knew exactly, counting backwards from when the Lord's crucifixion was, which basically, if you read Daniel, I mean, he tells you exactly about how many years it's going to be if you study it. And then they knew that somewhere in previous periods that the Lord should come, so many years before that. And we can find some of that again over in the book of Daniel if we turn over to chapter 9 in the book of Daniel. And this is the prophecy of the 70 weeks. So let's just jump in there real quick. You can see here verses 25 and 26. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and build Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the prince, shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. The streets shall be built again, and the wall even in troublous times. And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself. And the people of the prince shall destroy the city, and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be a flood. And unto the end of the war, desolations are determined. This is just one of the glimpses. Now, you get glimpses into prophecy, and no doubt Daniel would give them even other details. I mean, there could have been details and things that he had spoken with these people that we don't read about in what he did in his work, in his writings. So the Magi, the wise men, knew of the Lord's coming. They knew approximately when he was going to be born. And there again, they traveled knowing what Daniel had done, what Daniel had said. They traveled from the east to meet the Lord, to see the Lord, and brought with them great gifts because of Daniel's preaching, because of his prophesying. That is why the wise men undoubtedly came from where they did over to see the Lord. You know, the Lord put a star, a specific star that led them all the way from the east. And again, these were people that were accustomed to navigating by the stars, and they brought the gifts and they met with the Lord when he was a very young age. There are some of the estimates. I know we think that it is typically at the birth of the Lord that they were there, but it was actually after. It was after that. I think some estimates have it that he was about 2 years old at that time. But anyways, I thought that that was something that might be a little bit interesting to point out. Again, you know, the reason the wise men knew of the Lord is because Daniel told them. And there again, this is exactly why that it's important to study the Old Testament and study the entire Bible. But that's something, again, that most of us do not do as much of as we should. I know I don't. But guys, I hope you liked the video. Again, study it, look it up. You know, there's a lot of things out there, a lot of stuff out there, especially this time of year. Merry Christmas. I know we are celebrating the Lord's birth. I would encourage you to spend some time with friends and family, spend some time with the Lord himself. It's his birthday. You know, if it was your birthday, wouldn't you want people to spend time with you? So I'm sure that he would like for us to spend time with him as well, even though, you know, that's the day that we celebrate his birthday. But guys, thanks for watching. Please like and share the video. Subscribe to my channel. Leave me any comments down below, and we will see you next time.